Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about how I got a job in TV, in social media, working for one of the biggest actresses in the world. Yes, that's right, Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah.
Host of the Queen Latifah show. You remember that show? And the big comedy breakout, Living Single. You remember that show, right? And now she's on CBS's probably, I think, #1 show of all time, The Equalizer. If you don't know who Queen Latifah is,
you are seriously living on a rock.
And I think you might need help.
So let's get to today's video. Before I do that, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video and turn on that notification bell. It literally costs you nothing to do that, and it helps me as a new creator here on YouTube so much. So I appreciate you doing that, and thank you to all of my new subscribers. So now let's get to today's video. Okay, she looks good. And make sure you stay to the end of this video because I'm gonna be talking about how I got my job with Tamron Hall. You know her, right? All right, so I got this job, honestly, y'all, it was pure luck. And it was pure being in the right place at the right time. And I always take that as a sign because I was at the right place at the right time. I had just gotten my job at Wheel of Fortune, actually, as a receptionist. No, I didn't just get it. I was working there for years, probably 2 or 3 years at this point. And it was honestly time for me to move on. And it was time for me to find a career job. Not that a receptionist is not a career role, because there are some people that take it that way. It just wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I had a passion in social media, and I really wanted to jump into this new thing that everybody was talking about. At that time, this was probably 15 years ago at this time, people were talking about, no, it was like 14 years ago. Whatever, time is all relative, darling. We don't care, it's time, who cares? I'm doing this again, guys. I literally am so mad at myself because I've already recorded this, thought I was recording this, but this stupid ass phone literally sucks and shut off while I was recording. So let's give it a go again. All right, so yeah, I was sitting at Wheel of Fortune and I kept seeing billboards for the Queen Latifah show. And I'm just like, who is this lady and how do I work for her? Who is the queen? I need to work for her. So I literally did everything I could to really search on Netflix, search on LinkedIn to find out who was running the marketing department at the show. And I was able to locate a lady that would be my future boss. And what I did was I used another connection from someone that I had met prior to that. Yes, guys, I have had a lot of jobs, I realize. So I used to work at TMZ and I was a paparazzo. So let me know if you want to know more about that. Just, child, that job was something else. And basically with that job, I had met a lot of different people. And one of the people that I had met was a friend of my new would-be boss. So I hit her up and was like, yo, do you know this person? Can you vouch for me? And she did. And I was able to get a meeting with her. Guys, this meeting was right outside the door of Wheel of Fortune. I don't know how I did not get caught, but it just goes to show you when something is yours, it's yours. And I believe in the power of abundance and the power of manifestation. At the time, I was not the happiest in that role at Wheel, only because it wasn't because of anybody there. It was just because it wasn't what I wanted to do. But I knew that I had to do that to pay my bills. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do. And I wanted to get into social media, and this was a shoe-in. For sure, I would have been shooed into that career with this role with the Queen, and luckily it worked and I got the job. And so the way it worked at first, now that I'm thinking about it, I was working with an agency at first. So the agency basically was hired by the production company to put on all of the social media stuff. That was the first time I worked for an agency, and it was a mess. I ain't even gonna lie. They were like scared to do stuff, like stepping on toes, and then they ended up getting fired. They fired the agency and then they hired us in-house. So basically we started working for the production after that, which honestly should have been what it was from the beginning. But I think, they probably didn't know social media well enough to trust themselves to hire, the appropriate people for the roles that they needed. So they went the agency route, which is fine. But, I think we did a great job coming on board in-house and it worked out. Make sure you stay to the end of this video because I'm going to actually go into like what I did every day, my day-to-day. But right now I want to talk to you kind of like about who all I worked with, which was kind of cool. So I worked on set literally every day. I would literally go on set. I would see like Betty White, Brandy, Patti LaBelle, Snoop, which I'll talk about Snoop at the end of the video. Child, Snoop is a whole mess. I love him though. Martha Stewart, literally we had everybody coming through because Queen knows everybody. So that's the cool thing about working on a show with her is she's such a well-known celebrity and well-liked celebrity. When you're in a talk show, you need to be well-liked because that's how people will respect you and want to come on your show and talk to you about their lives. So she had no problem with booking guests. We got really big people. Now that I'm thinking about it, one of the moments that was really, really cool was we had Dolly Parton. When's the last time you had Dolly Parton on a talk show? She doesn't just show up. She might do a Zoom, but she came to the set. That was so cool. Yeah, so we had a lot of fun celebrities come through. It was really cool as a 20-something-year-old to see these people that you see in movies and TV, like IRL, in person, crazy, and get to do stuff with them. So a lot of our job was convincing publicists to let us do backstage content with the different celebrities. So like, we would want to play games with X, Y, and Z. We would have to email to their publicists and ask them for permission. And we had to convince them that it was cool and a cool way to promote their appearance on our show. Because a lot of the times you have to tell people what you're doing, why you're doing it versus what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, they're just like, why am I doing this? What's the point? Well, the point is we need to promote this damn show and promote your appearance on this damn show. Otherwise, ain't nobody gonna watch it. Because at the end of the day, that was our job, convincing people that social media matters. Early on, like with TV, like a lot of people were kind of writing social media off, but now look at it. If you don't have a social media strategy with a television show, you have no show. We can thank Scandal for that. And I know who created that strategy. Allison, you did that, girl. So yeah, I worked with producers every day, internally as well, like the executive producer, Corn Nelson, Ianthe, who now works on The Talk, people that worked with Oprah. It was really cool to work with as well. So many smart and talented people we worked with. Like, damn, we really did that. The one regret I have is that Queen, now she talks about being out, but I feel like back then, a lot of people were calling attention to that. Why isn't she out? Or why isn't she come out of the closet yet? And I think with a talk show, you do have to be your authentic self because people do pick up on that. And I think that might have been why the show wasn't successful in the end. But it doesn't hurt like her. She's on one of the most successful TV shows now at CBS. She's fine. Okay. So now, what was my day-to-day every day? So basically, I would publish all of the videos for the show. So each show had like 5 to 6 clips of the interview with the celebrity or the guest on the show. I would basically edit that. We had an editor towards the end, but child, at some point I was doing the editing. I was like, oh God, this is a lot. We need a video editor. We cannot be doing all of this. So we ended up hiring a video editor. It was me, 3 other girls, and then my boss. It was like a team of 5. Damn. And then we had a website developer guy that we brought on because they would always change the website on us. They would be like, we want to change the website. And we would be like, girl, we just changed the website. It's funny though, thinking about that kind of stuff, like nitpicky things that they had that they wanted to change, which I get. It has your name on it. You want it to be what you want. So, yeah, publishing content, analyzing content, engaging with our people, because we would live tweet sometimes. So checking in with our fans and engaging with them and keeping them, you know, just feeling the love that Queen gave on the show. We were the after show. Basically, the extension of the show was social. So if you have a TV show on air, you have to reflect that within the social media too. The conversation doesn't end on television. It continues on social media. So you have to really, really, really take that into account. And these people love this particular host. So you have to be responsible for that and respectful to that, and also carry that weight on your shoulders. Like, you are Queen on social, because we would also run her personal social as well. We would give her different things to tweet. I would even tweet for her sometimes. That was intense. What if I accidentally said something? She had like 8 million followers at the time. God knows how much she has now, but we brought a ton of followers to her accounts. Like, we were responsible for bringing so much to her personal accounts. If it wouldn't have been for that, she would not have had at that time all of the followers that she had at that time. And I do want to tell one funny celebrity story. Like, I don't want to get too much into those because you can kind of read about stuff like that. I'm not a gossiper. Like, I don't want this channel to be about that. I want it to be more about experiences. But Snoop Dogg is something else. I don't know what he was doing in his dressing room. We can all figure out what he was doing. It rhymes with bead. And it was smelling so strong. It would smell throughout the entire set. They had to bring in fans to air it out. Like, you could smell it from here to Kingdom Come, child. I was like, what is he in there doing? Love Snoop, though. Snoop can get away with murder, okay? Snoop is Snoop. Snoop is gonna do what Snoop wants to do. If you want Snoop on your show, Snoop gonna do what Snoop wanna do. So it was really cool to just be there and just experience so much, like, with so many different celebrities, and just be on the lot. Like, I miss that in a sense. I do miss, like, the daily grind of a talk show, because I did go on to work at Tamron Hall's talk show, and when I moved to New York, where I live now. And I do sort of sometimes miss that daily grind of having that, you know what you're going to talk about, because the guests are your content. So I do miss that respect, because there was no shortage of content. But let me tell you something. Working on a daily talk show, you work so much. Like, our hours of working, we would work like probably 50 to 60 hours a week, and sometimes on the weekends, because, you know, who's gonna post the content for the following week? You have to schedule some stuff. We didn't even have schedulers like we do now. Like, I'm really aging myself, but we didn't have like all of that we have now. So a lot of the stuff had to be done manually. So it's like a lot of grinding work, but I am so grateful and thankful for learning all of what I learned and experienced who I got to experience. So I'm gonna link some of the videos that I worked on in my description so you can check some of those out. I do want to answer your questions about working in television and talk shows specifically. So do leave comments below for me, and I will answer them in a future video, or even in the comments. So definitely do that. And also, I am gonna do another video on my time working at Tamron Hall, because that was vastly different. I was a lot older, and I did have to move to New York for that. So I do want to talk about how my whole experience was with that in a future video. So if you have questions about that as well, because she's still on television, so you can comment those below as well, and I'll answer those in the next video. You can also check out the video that I did on my time at BuzzFeed. I'm gonna put that linked up above and below as well. So if you are interested in any of my experiences there as well, check that video out, and make sure you turn on your notifications, guys. It's free. And thank you so much for watching this entire video. Like, you made it to the end of this like 13 whatever minute video it is, and I really appreciate that. This is something new that I'm trying out, and to be honest with you, it is a lot of work. So any support you can give me is amazing and great, and I love that because I literally had to redo this whole video because it stopped recording.
So yeah.
Thank you guys for coming on this journey with me, and I really, really appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.
How about these titties, though?
The berries is paying off, y'all. Bye.